Okay, I know I told y'all that I'm not into gossiping. I completely released myself of that trait. But I used to watch a show called Living Color, and Kim Waynes used to be like, she had a character that said, I ain't want to gossip and you ain't heard this from me. But I was actually watching Real Housewives of Atlanta today, the current season or the season that just passed. And I don't even watch TV anymore a lot, but for some reason I decided to put this show on today. And I'm only saying this because it aligns with the message and the healing. Like, I'm just going to preface it with that. But I was watching this new set of, like, Real Housewives or whatever. And I noticed that they had the entrepreneur businesswoman Pinky on it, the woman who owns Slutty Vegan. And I'm saying this because it aligns with the frequency message and the healing. But while I was watching the episodes regarding Pinky, she was stating how she was, she was the grantor on a lot of the loans that she took out for her business. She did a lot of dealings with people who screwed her over, and she had to end up like selling her business, and then she bought it back in 40 days. And now she's being sued by so many people, and she's so financially overwhelmed that she's contemplating filing bankruptcy. So a good amount of the episodes were her talking about her like financial woes and everything that was going on in her life and how stressed she was. And I'm going to say this: Pinky has a husband. And her husband are not going through the same financial woes. And what was disheartening during this entire, like, these episodes that I was watching is that the plight of the black woman is that even when she's married, she feels like she still has to put on this front and be strong and be, together and collected and always have a remedy or an answer for things. But it was obvious that she was, at a standstill. She was basically at a stalemate. Like, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know whether to file bankruptcy or not, or try to recover the funds in her business. And the whole time that she's talking about this and contemplating this and going through this, her husband is unaware of the fact that she's contemplating bankruptcy, and she's married. And in those episodes, she's going on dates with her husband, and she's calling her husband her best friend. And I beg to differ, because she was on those episodes sharing personal bankruptcy information and telling the people or her castmates about her financial issues, but she was not disclosing that to her husband. And I said all that to say, because like her husband kept saying to her, like, how can I help you carry the weight if I don't even know what the weight is? So I'm sitting here and I have to basically like psychoanalyze you to figure out what's going on in your head, because you're so hyper vigilant, you're so guarded that you won't share anything. And I'm your partner in life. Like, I'm here and I'm trying to help. And you're not allowing me to be the helpmate that God, placed me on this earth to be. And I feel like it was important for me to say that before I gave you what the sixth song was. And I said all that because when you are trying to manifest, a husband, or call in the person that God has for you, and it said is aligned with your purpose and that you're supposed to spend your life with, you want that person to not only be a friend, but you want that person to be your best friend. You want to be able to share anything that's going on in your life with that person. You don't want to feel like you have to filter yourself with somebody that you are supposed to be completely like dismantled and vulnerable with. And that's what I think was the hiccup in their relationship. She was still operating like she was just Pinky on her own, when she's no longer just Pinky on her own. She's Pinky and she's part of a marital unit. And she needs to start acting like it and using the resources that God is providing her in this marital unit. And I think it was more so like pride, not allowing her to let her husband help her. But like, that's the whole reason why you guys got married, is because his vision aligned with your vision and you guys were trying to build together. So how can you guys build together if he don't even know what resources you have, or where you're at in the building stage, or how you plan on going forth, or what the vision is? Like, you have to share that with the person that you're doing life with. So I know I went off on a tangent, but Song 6 is Brandy, best friend, because you don't just want a lover in a person, you want a best friend. You want somebody that you can do life with. You want somebody that you can be vulnerable with. You want somebody that you can cry in front of. You want somebody that you can share even the most embarrassing things about you with. You do not just want a lover, you want a best friend.